Aaron Rodgers, toe injury. He badly wanted some time off to help it get better. He had the 14 days. But here he is after the game, and it's obvious this is something that's going to linger because when you're out there with a bunch of large men with cleats on, there's always a chance someone's going to step on that broken left pinky toe. Here's Rodgers.
Yeah, Aaron, you said the toe felt better, after the bye week last week, not having to play a game. How does it feel after this one, and does it feel better than it has after the last couple of games?
No, it feels worse. I don't know what kind of setback that I had tonight, but I will look at it tomorrow. But definitely take a step back tonight.
I'm telling you, for a guy who gets so pissy, about the idea that maybe some people on the staff are talking about his medical information. He's self-violating HIPAA every time he talks about the thing. I mean, you may as well just tattoo a bullseye on your left pinky toe and he just accidentally, hey, I thought there was a cigarette on the field. I'm sorry, I'm trying to stomp it out. Sorry I hit your toe. This transparency is just bizarre to me because you don't want to incentivize defensive players to find a way to accidentally step on your foot.
Yeah, listen, the toe's not going to get any better. It's just not. I mean, he can sit there and not practice during the week like he's done before, but he's going to play in that game. He's going to run around on that toe. He's going to hit it on stuff. It's going to get stepped on. Now, you sit there and talk about defenders. Can they aim for his toe? That's a tough spot to aim for. Now, and I'm not going to sit here and say that never happens because it does. But that's something that would happen in a pile, where you accidentally, as you're getting up, just kind of step on that toe. And I'd imagine that there might be some guys that might aim for something like that. But the bottom line is it's not going to get better, but it certainly doesn't seem to be affecting him too much. He's got to deal with the pain or they numb it up, whatever way it goes, because it's a pinky toe, not a big toe. But I mean, the guy is ridiculous. What he's doing, another 4 touchdowns and no interceptions. I mean, they're the only team in the league right now that has no turnovers in their division. I mean, they just turned it on in the second half after kind of a slow first half and just opened up the floodgates, which we thought they would do on the Bears. So, the ending of the game wasn't a surprise that they won this game. The beginning was a little more of a surprise, but this is all about going forward. This is all about playing where you're going to be seated, and this is about the health. But if you're telling me some of the issues that, injuries that Aaron Rodgers has had in the past, I'll take the pinky toe. All right. Give me the pinky toe. Everybody is hurt now. There is not one player. There is not one person associated with the game of football, except for you now, Mike, that is 100%. Everybody
I am 100%.
is nicked.
That's
yes,
right.
you are. Yes, you are. Everybody is nicked up right now to something that they're dealing with for the rest of the year. But they're not all one of the most famous quarterbacks who talks about it. For the most part, you're not going to know it, or you'll see it on an injury report for those that look at injury reports about what people are dealing with. Everybody's dealing with it. And here's another little secret. It ain't getting better for anybody. If you got a bad shoulder, your shoulder's staying bad. If you got a tweaked knee, it ain't getting much better. You just play with it. That's what you do. That's attrition in the NFL. It happens every single year. And that's why the healthiest teams, as healthy as you can be, at the end of the year, usually of the better teams are usually the ones that come out of the gate and win the Super Bowl. So he can talk about his pinky. We all know about his pinky. So it doesn't matter if he talks about it anymore. We know he's got a bad pinky toe. And if they go all the way to the Super Bowl, he's going to have a bad pinky toe then as well. That's just the way it is.
And what's amazing is, as you said, it's not affecting him. So I'm always a little leery about the gratuitous myth-making that happens in sports, and everybody wants to be Willis Reed or Michael Jordan in the flu game or the food poisoning game or whatever the hell that was. A little of that Ben Roethlisberger embellishment getting sprinkled in. It's just odd to me. Like, you don't need it to, if it's not affecting you, you really don't need to be talking about it. And why are you talking about it other than to maybe help stir up some extra praise? Like, Aaron Rodgers doesn't need any extra praise. He's already one of the greatest quarterbacks in NFL history to do it. And if he wants us all to be impressed that he's doing it with a broken pinky toe that doesn't seem to be affecting him in any way, but it's creating pain at a time when most of the guys on the field have pain, then bravo. I will say this, though. If they play the Bucs in the playoffs, especially if they play at Lambeau Field, Mike, you may remember this from a few years back, when Ndamukong Suh His feet tend to go numb. He can't be held responsible for what his feet may do if they become numb on the frozen tundra. You never know what those feet are going to do if he can't actually feel them. And that may be when there really is a bullseye on that pinky toe, because, as you said, it won't be 100% when the time comes for the postseason unfold.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.